Hello, welcome or welcome back. Today we are talking about the idea of things being too good to be true. Do you have that feeling like things are too good to be true? Because if you do, that's an assumption that we want to change, and that's what we're talking about today. Stick around. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Hedley Derenzie and I am a qualified life coach, author, and I'm super passionate about the amazing teachings of the law of assumption as originally taught by the great American mystic Neville Goddard. It is the stories that we tell that create our life. So if you want to change any part of your life, you want to start by changing the story. And if you want to create the most amazing life, then you need to know how to tell the most amazing stories. And that is where these teachings can really help. And that is why I am here. If you would like support with changing your life and changing the story, then you can work with me in a number of different ways. I have one-to-one coaching. I also have quick coaching. I have group coaching. I also have a free 21-day Set Yourself Up with the Ultimate Self-Concept course. What else? I'm on Instagram. All of those details are in the box below, so check that out. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, today we are talking about things being too good to be true. Do you believe that things can be too good to be true? It's a very common assumption. Most of us have it. I certainly do or have. We want to clear that because what you'll find, what I have found and what my friends have found as we really get into working with these teachings, things get better. Things get amazing. Like life becomes an experience. It becomes an adventure. It doesn't mean you don't have challenges and problems that you have to overcome. They become less and less, and things really do get better because you get more proficient at where to direct your conscious awareness. And as we know, consciousness is the one and only reality, and reality is reflecting back the states of consciousness that we're holding. So when you start to really embed this and get this and play along with this, life starts to become really effing amazing. We live in a physical world, so there is going to be loss, there is going to be heartbreak, there is going to be things that we have to experience as part of living in this physical world. That is the game. However, when you have the law of assumption on side, you essentially have a teaching, a foundation for which to navigate this adventure called life. So part of the awakening process is returning to that which we truly are, which is God, which is imagination, which is consciousness, which is infinite. The physical world is the reflection of the inner non-physical world, and everything that we're holding in consciousness is what is getting pushed out and reflected back. What can start to happen as you start to manifest these amazing experiences for yourself, simply because you become more proficient with where to direct your attention, these amazing things start happening. And what can also come up is, oh, like, this is too good to be true. Like, if things get too good, it's too good. It's just an assumption. And like all assumptions, we have the power to change it. You have the power to change it. So where the inspiration for this video came from is a very good friend of mine who is a therapist now, but she was, and she still is, an actor, but she was a very successful Australian actor many years ago. Then she went and had a family and the acting kind of dried up, and then so she turned her attention towards therapy. She's now a very successful therapist. However, she still has a love of acting. Now, I have shared my love of the law of assumption with her, and she's really taken it on board, and she's really implementing it in her life as well. And a couple of months ago, there was a role that came up because what it did was it reignited, like she realized if she's the creator of her reality, then she can create roles for herself. She can still be an actor, she can still act, and she can still be a therapist, but she can also still be an actor. So she came across a role emerged in her reality that was like an amazing role. We set about using the law of assumption to put ourselves in the state of her getting the role, and I was working with her on this very closely. So we were working on it together, and we really created the fact that she was in this role and it had been filmed, and we did all of the law of assumption things on it. We used all of the techniques, and we really got into the state that she had this role. It was very successful. After all of the work that we did, she didn't get the role, and we were both devastated because it was something that we had invested in. However, there was a little part of me that had thought that that might be the case because there's a bit of lag time with reality. Reality doesn't just show up and give us exactly what we want when we want. It is a reflection, and there's sometimes a lag time. So we did all this work. She didn't get the role, and also we had to work. It was interesting because that was part of the healing of some of the old assumptions that were still there for her. That you can't make a living out of at being an actor. Anyway, so we moved on and kind of forgot about it. She continued on with her therapy, and then I get this call just a couple of weeks ago from her saying, "I've got this script. It's for this role. I'm not really sure I want it. I don't know. What do you reckon?" And I said, "Look, why don't we just shoot the screen test, and then you can decide whether you want it or not if you get it. Like, no harm in doing a screen test." So I went over to her place. We recorded the screen test. She did a phenomenal job. I was blown away. And it was like an hour we probably spent on it, and she submitted it. And anyway, we both forgot about it. Neither of us were really invested in it. And then I get the call that she had got it. Now, not only had she got this role, but the role is in another country. They're flying her business class. They're putting her up in a 5-star luxury hotel. They are paying her a shitload of money. It was like amazing. Like, it was incredible. And what was interesting was I spoke to her just today, and she said, I'm just like, it's so good that I'm wondering, is it too good to be true? And I realized it's the only reason that we have that thought is because we've not known how we created things in the past. We didn't know we were creating our realities in the past. And so we would create these amazing things, and then we'd had this thing of, is it too good to be true? Now, I wanted to make this video because it's really important that as you work with these teachings, you will have amazing things happen. Your reality will reflect back the amazingness that you're creating in consciousness, and you are doing that, and you have every right to experience what you've been working on and creating in consciousness. There's nothing wrong with being happy. There's nothing wrong with being successful. And it's almost like we've become accustomed to fucking things up for ourselves because we didn't know what we were doing in the past. So if you have that story running that things are too good to be true, that we want to change that assumption to things are so good they are true, because we are creating them as so good in consciousness, and that is how they become true. So I want you to replace that things are too good to be true with things are so good they are true. It is slightly different, but it is true because we are creating things to be so good in consciousness, and that is what is getting pushed out and reflected back in our reality. They're our creations, and that's the fruits of our labor getting reflected back. And so enjoy them. Enjoy your beautiful creations. You deserve them. You have worked for them. You've put the effort in them. This is your reality, and you have done a phenomenal job to create this phenomenal experience. It is so good. You did such a good job that it is now true because it is now showing up in your reality. So nothing is too good to be true. Everything that you create is so good that is why it is true. And that is why I wanted to share this video with you, because this is super important. If you have that assumption running, I know I have, my friend has, perhaps you do too, and there is no reason to do it. It's simply because we just didn't know what we were doing in the past, and so we created these amazing things and then we fucked it up. But we don't have to do that anymore because now you know how to wield your amazing power. And when you create things to be so good in consciousness, that is what gets pushed out and reflected back in your reality, and that is where you get to experience the fruits of your labor. You have done the work, you have lived from the end, you have put yourself into the state of consciousness of having what it is that you want. You have every right now to experience the fruits of your labor and the goodness of your work. So cancel that out. Go off and enjoy your beautiful realities that you have so diligently created in your imagination. And that is how reality works. It is just the reflection of your brilliant imagination and all of that brilliant and diligent work that you have done in consciousness. So congratulations to my wonderful friend who is off tomorrow on this incredible adventure as a result of all of the wonderful work that she did in order to create this incredible role for herself. She earned it. She created it. She worked it. So yeah, things get good. Things get really good. So enjoy it, and you deserve it. You're worthy of it. And that's all I wanted to share. Thanks for listening. Please remember, you are the creators of your reality. You are the superstar of your show. You are the producer, the writer, the director, and the actor in your movie. What you assume to be true will be so. So assume the best for you and assume the best for everyone in your movie too, and you will have an amazing life. This is my vision for you. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like, share, and comment. And if you would like to subscribe to my channel, I would love to have you. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time. Bye.